Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and anything under the sun. If you're a brand new viewer, we do a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So be warned. And of course, if you're not able to attend live, either on Twitch or YouTube, whichever one this is on, you can send your questions to Kris@waveofthebrush.com. Send your pictures, if you're sending any, as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites or anything like that, because it's kind of annoying and, there's often ads and crap like that, right? So just send us attachments in the email. And of course, feel free to ask whatever it is, or maybe you're showing off whatever you want, or maybe you're commission painting service and you want to show off what you're doing, or whatever it is. I don't care. I welcome any and all emails. And of course, in the description below is a link to wayofthebrush.com. It is the central hub of all this silliness. Has links to the social medias as well as Discord. Discord's been fantastic. We keep the conversation rolling all the time there on Discord. It's a lot of fun. Join us there. And we've created a pretty good community there. The monkeys have been really great. Despite being a layer of monkeys, they're really quite civil and very helpful. And a lot of them are very knowledgeable. And so, it's all about sharing and, enjoying this hobby. And so, again, Discord's really been fantastic. Wayofthebrush.com also has a link for shirts. Want to get a shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you've purchased yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. Wayofthebrush.com also has a link for Patreon support. Want to help support the channel? Help me, make the things better and further improve and continue the work. Patreon support is the way to really kind of help. And as I'm independent these days, and that's how I'm doing things now. So, big thank you to everybody who currently supports me, and a big thank you to everybody who's considering supporting me in the near future, right? And of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, you can also support the channel by thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, sharing, ringing the bell, all that other, social stuff. That all helps as well. And it only takes us a couple click of a button, and you're helping me out tremendously. So, huge thank you. Big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl's where it's at. We always say thank you to Carl for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. So always much love to Carl. Love him a long time. And of course, a big thank you to my brother Evan for creating the intro music that plays before and at the end of the episode. Always much love for my baby bro. So always have to give thanks to him. I never did before, and I realized, I'm a schmuck. And, I should be thanking him, of course, every episode. Because he's written the music for, ages. So, I'm a dummy. I'm just a dummy. Anywho, an inconsiderate dummy. Let me move this little window over here. There we go. Who's joining us today? I can see Divine Ederic. Woot, managed to catch a way of the brush today. Awesome. Scott Radham. Hey, guys. Hey. D. Derek over on Twitch. Woot, managed to catch a way. Oh, it's the same. Oh, is Divine Ederic the same as D. Eric? Yeah, I'm going to assume. Daniel Horton. What do you think about Mini Warming doing Valhalla? Are you going to G to it? And also, will you be going to any painting tips if bit and bobs if you are going? What? I barely understood any of that. Am I going to Mini Wargaming's Valhalla? Is doing Valhalla? As far as I know, Wargamer Girl does Valhalla. So, am I going? I don't know. It's a long ways off. You never know. Might work out that I can attend. It all depends. From what I understand, the Valhalla that Wargamer Girl puts on is really fun, and everybody who goes always says that they have a really great time. So, and I'm all about having a good time. So, and will I be doing painting tips or anything like that? I've not talked to Miranda about any of that stuff, so I have no idea. As far as I know, no. And if I went, I don't know. I mean, in the hypothetical, if I went to Valhalla, I'm sure we probably arrange something, but I might more or less just, go for fun, right? Because isn't that the whole point of it? Is to go and have fun, right? I assume. I don't know. Hail bop, heyo, heyo, gums, hello, 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 hello. Legion, have you seen Death of Hope already? It's amazing. It's amazing. No, I have not. My son was actually telling me about it because he was waiting impatiently because I mean, we were both like really excited. I'm waiting for Astartes as well. Astartes is supposed to be putting out another like segment to his short as well. I really enjoy his Death of Hope though. Like it looked pretty darn cool. What I dug was how he's incorporating like the civilians in the fight, and then the Space Marines are fighting Space Marines, and you got like all these civilians running around. It looks chaotic and it's cinematic, right? And I've talked about that in the past. How there seems to be this kind of detachment that the heroes of humanity rarely seem to be concerned with saving humanity, which is kind of weird. But maybe that's the commentary. I don't know. Hail Bup, last night I ordered the last box of terrain I needed for a new big Necromunda campaign games. Cool. Yeah, with the Dark Uprising terrain. Oh man, I could totally buy at least two kits, at least two full sets of that stuff, and make a nice and deep board. That'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. The only thing is, though, well, I mean, once you start assembling and everything like that, and try and keep it modular, because I wouldn't want to fix everything to the board segments. I'd want to keep everything modular. So, tough to say. Derek. Sorry, I decided to switch over. Cock King 555. I have soda plate full of models. A soda plate full of models? A soda plate. What's a soda plate? I don't know what that means. Hail Bop. She's doing 2 this year. The one in Utah and the one at Mini Wargaming Bunker. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Cool. Okay, so you were asking if I would go to the Mini Wargaming. Because I'm just right in the neighborhood. I don't know. Again, I've not been contacted about attending Mini Wargaming Bunker. And I mean, I'm local, so I wouldn't stay at the bunker. And as far as putting on classes or anything like that, no. I had no idea. Until you mentioned that, I had no idea. Dr. Zantos, hello, Kris and Monkeys, hello, Daniel Horton. She said Valhalla going to Mini Wargaming next year. She posted it into her videos. Oh, I didn't catch that. I saw like she was posting something about Valhalla. I seen it in my feed. I didn't click it because I assume she's doing the usual ramp up for, generating sales for that. And so I assumed it was, the same, but I guess maybe I'll have to check that video out. Grim, howdy Grim. Dr. Zantos, what's cooking or painting rather? What is painting? What is everybody working on? Is everybody working on something? Maybe somebody's assembling. Maybe somebody's painting. Got a lot of emails today. Holy cramoly. I got a whole bunch of emails. So we'll probably have to cut the goofing off pretty early today. Because she is quite a bit today. Sorry, I'm just goofing around with something right now. I just noticed that my screen is really bright. Here we go. Let's turn that down just a bit. There we go. That's better. There's a lot of light coming off my forehead. Sorry, I gotta make sure I look pretty for camera all the time. my hair. Where am I? Daniel Horton. Valhalla is happening at Mini Wargaming as they're going to be doing 2 events at one in the log cabin and the one at Mini Wargaming. Yeah, from what I understand, with the one in Utah that she hosts, I've never heard anything bad about that event. So if you get the chance to go, I definitely would recommend it. Definitely. From what I understand, I've never gone personally, but from what I understand, it always sounds like a good time had by all. So yeah, definitely. If you get the chance, do it. Hail Bop, I'm using Sector Mechanicus, and since I'm using those Forge World resin stubs, I'm making the first 2 boards like you're fighting in a Goliath Forge smelting facility. Cool. Well, Hail Bop, you got to send me pictures, bud. You got to send me pictures of what you're working on. I don't care, even if it's work in progress, or post it in a Discord, one of the two, or both, either one, because that sounds really cool. I had caught one of the Warhammer TV streams on Twitch one day, and they had, I think it was Bedford, and he was showing some techniques going over, like, painting the tile sections, and he had also shown that he had done this conversion for this big grinder, and it was using one of those chaos gates, and then he created like the little choppy bits inside. It was like a meat grinder, right? And they're just chucking people in kind of thing, and I thought that was really, really cool. And something like that, now something like that would be really cool, yeah, it'd just be really fun to do. I mean, I could see doing like one-off tile like that, especially currently I'm playing Corpse Grinder. We've begun our campaign, and so we're going to go, I think we're going to run it as a 7-week campaign, 7 or 8 week, I think it was. And so we're going to go 7 weeks campaigning through the Underhive. I'm playing Corpse Grinder. We've already fought through 2 battles. I think Ash is going to be posting first, which will be, I think, next Thursday. He's planning to have that video up. So expect that. And then mine, I think we're going to alternate, because I think usually what we do is we kind of post like kind of the same week. And I think what we'll do is we'll post each other every other week. And so, yeah. So there's a bit of time for everybody to kind of absorb and follow. But the fun part is that we will be doing, we'll be updating our gang rosters on Yak Tribe. And so I posted it on Discord. I don't know if everybody has it. Maybe I'll have to sticky it or something on Discord. So anybody who's interested in following along, and also help with, possibly if I miss something or whatever. And yeah, but no spoilers. I'm not spoiling anything. But I definitely have to get to work on some more gangers, though. Or skinners. I got to get some more skinners happening, because, yeah, I can see why there's 15 of those guys in the box. Dedrick, I'm working more on Sci-Fi Rocket. Oh, cool. Send pics, dude. Anthony B, sounds like a group o' jerks. Sounds like a group o' jerks. A group o' jerks. Group o' jerks. Daniel Horton, are you and Ash working on anything or anything in the pipeline with videos of you both? Yes. As I just mentioned, we're doing the campaign. We're doing the Dark Uprising campaign. I'm playing, I almost said Goliath. They kind of play like a Goliath, but not. But yeah, I'm playing Corpse Grinders, and he's playing the Palatine. And we're already 2 games in. And yeah, we got to get a bunch of models done, and went through. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's different. It's interesting. The whole campaign system is very, very interesting. I'm really into it right now. So yeah, I probably have to pick myself up a box of the Dark Uprising. Like I said, I'd probably like to get two of the kits, but I want those floor tiles, and I guess those floor tiles aren't back on sale yet, right? I don't know. I haven't checked GW in a long time. Are the floor tiles for sale again? Sorry, I'm on the site right now. I'm gonna have a look right now. I'm having a look. Let's go all Necromunda. Let's view all. All right. I can see they have Dark Uprising for sale. Yeah, there's no problems there, right? Underhive graffiti transfer sheet. Purdy. We got bases. Ooh, the dice. I like the dice. Right. Focus, Chris. Focus. Oh, yeah, an Amble. I want the Ambles. Or Ambot. Yeah. The floor tiles. Come on. Where's the floor tiles? No floor tiles? You slimy dogs. No floor tiles. Okay, so floor tiles aren't available yet, apparently. Boo earns. Come on, Games Workshop, get back on that. Get on that, man. Get on it. Get on it. Anyway, I lost where my comments were. There we go. Hailbop. Built Eisenhorn. Yeah, built Eisenhorn. Gathering the guardsmen I need for Adepticon. Getting my wet palette changed so I can paint some Necromunda. Cool. Very, very cool. Aaron Seach, there he is. Working on my ogre. My ogre rebasing and painting and airbrushing ships for Sky Dwarves. Oh, cool. You got overlords? Yeah? Is that the Sky Dwarves we're talking about? I don't know. Sky Dwarves, I mean, is kind of a generic term. I mean, if we're talking about Kharadron overlords or Skylords, is it Skylords? No, overlords. They're overlords. I was Skylords. Skylords? What? Very, very cool. Dr. Santos, maybe your mustache had a bright idea. Maybe my mustache had a bright idea? I don't follow that. The comment must have been posted a while ago because I'm not following the thought. Yeah. So yeah, I had no idea about the second Valhalla. So again, I have no plans on attending the mini wargaming one. And as far as like classes or anything like that, yeah, nothing like that was ever discussed or talked about or anything like that. So, but otherwise, yeah, I'm a little disappointed though. I'm still on the Games Workshop thing that I'm disappointed that those tiles haven't come back up yet. I'm kind of disappointed. Fire Drake 18, what's up, peoples? Working on my Amble today. Oh, you're working on an Amble, right? Oh yeah, that's right. We were just talking about this yesterday. Yeah, because I did a stream on Twitch yesterday. For anybody who doesn't know, I do a stream on Twitch Fridays. I've been doing it in the afternoons, kind of like this. I'm starting at like 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. But I mean, I sometimes might do it in the evening, whatever, right? But it is getting the projects done. So if you're following along with my work as far as, getting projects done, that's when I film it. I do it live first, and then a week later I post it on YouTube, and, just for gigs, working on stuff. In fact, you know what? I can probably switch cameras here and show you guys that, yeah, see, I got this stuff set up since the last time I was working on things here. You can see we're cleaning up some seam lines there. You can see it on the shin there. We're cleaning up seam lines. Got these feet all cleared. Got those looking purty. Look at that. Don't even see that seam line on top of that foot anymore. Beauty. Happy with how that all came out. I'm really happy with that. So, yeah. Again, I've been kind of just working on those, as I've been working on it. But, yeah. Anyway. Dr. Santos, you were talking about your forehead being too shiny. Oh, when I adjusted the camera. Yeah, my forehead was too shiny. I'm too shiny. God, I look all splotchy. I don't know why my head look all splotchy. Must be something I'm eating. Aaron Zeech. Yep, my older son plays Overlords. The old man is slacking on getting them painted for him. Oh, you're painting them? Come on. Get that boy painting. Unless, of course, he doesn't like painting or can't handle it or, well, I shouldn't say can't handle it, but you know what I mean? He just doesn't have the skill set. I saw somebody had posted on Daka, because I post pretty regularly in Daka on the tutorials section. And basically, I just share the fresh tips that I've been doing. And somebody had posted a video, which I thought was pretty interesting, was something that helped people who, they're a little too shaky. I can't remember what the name of the channel was. It was like posted like I think over a week ago. But I thought it was pretty interesting. He basically is using like a small camera tripod, and then he's attaching, the model and mounting it to it, and then using that, to steady. And because it can elevate and adjust, it's actually pretty good for, staying kind of comfortable. And I thought that was a really excellent idea. And so, man, if you go to Daka, go to the painting tutorials section in there. And it's only like maybe a post or two ago that he made that, and check it out. He talks a lot about his own personal stuff, and it takes a little bit for him to get to, the actual nuts and bolts of the video. Which personally, I mean, if I'm making a tutorial, I try and stick to the nitty gritty of what I'm showcasing. Personal issues, stuff like that seems more like a vlog type of thing where talk about your personal stuff, and you know what I mean, like it's just, or even like a crazy ass show like this where I just spout off on whatever it is that's coming into my brain, right? And so, but either way, I thought it was a very interesting, and I think it was probably a very helpful video, especially because I know that the question has come up here quite a few times over the years of how do I, hold the model if I'm shaky, right? Well, because basically he's coming at it from the approach that, well, if both your hands, you're holding the miniature, you're holding the brush, right? And both your hands shake, at least if you're mounting it to something, you're taking out half of that issue, right? You're taking about half of that shaking out of the equation, which, is a good idea. I mean, most of the time myself, I'm bracing my hands, stuff like that, but I don't have any issues with my hands getting really shaky, other than when I've had a little too much coffee or something like that. Then I get a little, little tweaky, but otherwise, I'm pretty okay in that regards. But I know there's many out there, some of you might even be listening today, so definitely go check that one out. I can't remember what his name is. It takes a little bit for him. I watched the whole video, and it takes a little bit for him to get into the nitty gritty of his, because he provides it like it's a tutorial, but he's going talking about his health issues. And so, but maybe a bunch of you out there are sharing the same issues. I don't know, so I'm sure it's helpful. I'm sure it's helpful for somebody out there, even if there's only one or two of you out there. Johnny's Chop Shop. Have you thought about doing any projects with Miranda, Wargaming Girl? Not really. Because I mean, she's in Arizona. I think she's in Arizona, and she's on the other side of the continent essentially, and it's not easy to get in contact with her. We did some stuff with Uncle Adam. Tabletop Minions, myself, and Miranda, and we were doing this, hangout, and that was a while ago. We did that, so it was the three of us just talking about, movies, and you know what I mean, and all sorts of things like that. And it was pretty fun. I don't know why we stopped. I think we just, all our schedules and everything kind of fell out of sync, I think. So, yeah, but that was a lot of fun. But as far as doing anything with her, like, because I know like on Wednesday nights, she does a live stream where she's just sitting down and working on her projects. And, something like that, I'd have no idea. It's something I've never talked to her about, so no. But I mean, like, is it possible to work on a project with her? Yes, it's possible. Will it happen? Who knows? Is there anything in the works? No. So, yeah. Anthony B at Kris. I don't know if it has ever been asked, would you collaborate with any of the mini wargaming talent, i.e. Steve, Luca, or Cullen is who I'm talking about. Would I collaborate with any of them? Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Steve, Luca, or Cullen? Yeah. Does Cullen produce videos? I didn't think he produced videos. I know he's the one who edits everything. At least I'm pretty sure. Last time I saw how things were operating, which I'm sure it's probably still operating the same way. Cullen does all the editing. I don't know if he's doing all the filming or what. I know that they were doing like a different style to all their videos. They're basically doing them the same as Play On, that kind of format like that. But yeah, I have no idea. But as far as collaborating with Steve or Luca, yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't been contacted by either of them. I haven't reached out to them to work on something, as I've just been, I've been into my own stuff right now, and it's only recently that I've started going back and, collaborating with Ash, because, the thing is, though, is I get along really well with Ash, and Owen. Not that I don't get along with Luca or Steve or Cullen, but I just, I just have more in common with Ash than anything, right? So, yeah. Fire Drake 18, question for the community. For Star Breach, what is the difference between the $10 PDF and the free version? So anybody out there with Star Breach, what is the difference between the $10 PDF and the free version? Dr. Zento's thoughts on rumors that Ragnar is the next named Primaris Marine. Interesting. Ragnar, the Black Mane. Yeah, he's due for an update. I don't even think is there still just the second edition model of him? Now I'm going back to GW site. Thankfully, I still have it up. So, where is it? Spacey Wolves. Spacey Wolves. There's Spacey Wolves. View all. Let's go. View all. Okay, we got Logan. Yeah. Space Wolf Wolfens. Lord Crom. Canis. Canis? Canis? Is it Canis or Canis? It's probably Canis. Anus. Ulrich. Njal. Lucas. Arjak? Or Aryak? Is it Arjak Rockfist or is it Aryak? I don't know. Shit, can you even get Ragnar Blackmane? I don't see him. Wait a second, I'm in Space Wolves. Why does all these guys look like Ultramarines? Oh, because this is all the new stuff. Okay. And it's all colored like... Gotcha. I don't see Ragnar. I didn't see Ragnar in there. So, Ragnar is not a thing anymore, I guess. They still have Najal. And that Najal... that's second edition. That's when this... And Space Wolves were like the first codex. Yeah, and when second edition came out, Space Wolves were the first codex to come out. And yeah, so that's early second edition when that came out. Man, when did second edition come out? Yeah, I don't even see Ragnar. Interesting. So anyway, yeah. Where am I here? Yeah, so Ragnar, yeah, you can't even get Ragnar. So it'd be kind of cool to see what they do for Ragnar, especially if he's getting a Primaris version. Now, is he in Primaris armor, or is he in the Gravis armor? Because I know like the heroes seem to be getting the Gravis treatment all the time. And the one I would love to see in Gravis would be Cantor, Pedro Cantor. I'd like to see him. Just redo him from his second or his last edition, and give us a new version of that in Gravis, or even Primaris, but Gravis. I think Gravis would be more appropriate for a chapter master, right? So, anyway, Samuel Lusk Gaming Channel, what's up? What's up? Hail Bob. Not to revive an already past topic, Death of Hope is making me want to paint Ultramarines. Yeah, well, I'll have to watch it later. How long is it? How long is it? I don't even know. I don't even know. Fire Drake 18, what's up? Hail Bob, specifically for 30K though. Okay. Fire Drake 18, being into your own stuff is tight. It's tight. Yeah, being into your own stuff, yeah, it's tight. Do you ever watch that guy's channel? What's his name? George Ryan? Ryan George? Anyway, hilarious dude. Screen Rant? Hilarious dude, yeah. I always like the pitch meetings. Those are funny as hell. I didn't know that guy was Canadian. Johnny's Chop Shop. I thought it would be cool to see a bunch of artists, painters, work on the same piece and see their interpretation of it. Whoa. Did I miss a comment there? I might have missed a comment there. Johnny's Chop Shop. What? I thought it'd be cool to see a bunch of artists, painters working on the same piece and see their interpretation on it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what we were talking about there, Johnny. But yeah, I mean, like, seeing it, like seeing the process or seeing the end result. Guys, those are two different things. Enforcer 357, there he is. I say Jack, and yay, Ragnar should be available still. No, he's not. I just looked on the site. Well, at least not on the Canadian site. Maybe he's on the American site or the UK site, but on the Canadian site, he's not listed. Hailbop, when he was pulled from Web Store a week or two ago is when the Primaris Ragnar gained attraction. Oh, okay, so they pulled it, and everybody's going, he's coming out soon. Okay, I got you. Yeah. That's how it kind of goes, right? So, yeah. Dr. Xantos Ragnar. Know who that is. Ragnar is sold out, it seems. Fire Trick 18. Multi-streams are tight. What? Aaron Seach, the next character to get the Primaris treatment should be Pedro. Damn it, GW. Get it together. You had one job, man. You had one job. Get it together. Come on, Games Workshop. You have one job. Vasily Shimko. There he is. Hello, Kris and Ape Monk. Mink. Man, I can't even say that. Ape Monk Painters? Ape Monk Painters? Like monk painters? Like painters of monks? Did monks get painted? Samuel Lust Gaming Channel. So what for Imperial Guard will they... wow. So what for Imperial Guard? Why do they kind of look like Starship Troopers? Well, one could argue that from the film version of Starship Troopers, the 97 film, they could have drawn inspiration from, the Imperial Guard, because Cadians were already a thing before that, like the early 90s when Cadian, the miniatures for like the design for Cadians came out. And when you look at the second edition Imperial Guard Cadians, they kind of look a bit like the Starship Troopers, which is why I think a lot of 40K fans flocked to Starship Troopers, the movie. Because it was, the Imperial Guard versus Tyranids kind of thing, right? And, and it'd be very cool, to see that kind of thing. Yeah. But otherwise, the design aesthetics, there's going to be parallels regardless. When you're coming up with sci-fi infantry that are just humans and, and just an infantry, you're always going to have design aesthetics that are very similar. The Cadians and, like theirs is based off of kind of a modern kind of design, with some 40K flair to it, and the Starship Troopers, similar kind of theory, right? Whether or not the designers were very familiar with Warhammer 40K, who's to say? But the thing is, though, is Warhammer 40K definitely was inspired, elements of it were inspired by the original literature of Starship Troopers, because Starship Troopers was written back in, the 40s, late 40s, early 50s? So, Warhammer 40,000 definitely borrowed elements from the literature, because there's the elements are there. You can see the similarities. If you've read the book, you'll see the similarities that are in 40K, especially in the older 40K stuff. It's evolved since then, but yeah, there's tons of Warhammer 40,000 is borrowed from so many sources. There's so many different sources, heavily from Frank Herbert, but there's so many sources for Warhammer 40,000. Just like Star Wars. People going, oh, Star Wars is just so, so original. No, not really. It's borrowed from a lot of sources, but that doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it bad, because, that's the nature of things. You take these elements and create something new, right? So, Hail Bob. I'm kind of partial to Cantor staying a Marine. Only because I really like the mini. Yeah, I hear you. Johnny's Chop Shop, Fire Drake. I'll be willing to throw my hat into the ring. Okay. Fire Drake 18. Yes, sir. Screen rant. Enforcer. Yeah, he's probably out of stock. So then they're going to make the Primaris. Yeah, I would. That seems to be the trend, right? Is all of a sudden they pull it from the store and everybody starts losing their mind, right? And then, of course, somebody posts a current price list. And of course, they'll compare it to the previous price, and oh, he's $20 more or something like that, right? And and then bang, we have our new guy, right? But who knows? Who knows? Well, I mean, GW knows, but who knows? Anthony B. I'm Space Marined out. Gimme Xenos or give me death. Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of Space Marined out as well. Everything always seems to be about the Space Marines. And it doesn't make sense that Space Marines are just, dominate, the universe in Warhammer 40,000 because they're, at least by lore, there's so few of them, right? They're supposed to be the elite of the elite, at least of the Imperium's fighting troops, right? And, they're at every battlefront, they're at every war, like no campaigns are ever won without a whole chapter of Space Marines showing up. Like realistically, a whole chapter of Space Marines, like seeing that on the battlefield should be a rare occurrence. Like Space Marines, like Special Forces, they should be pockets of them all over the place, and the chapter should be a rare occasion for the entire chapter to be gathered at one place for any length of time, right? Or even to see a battle. That's what makes the Great Crusade so, so glorious in that regard that, there was entire legions of Space Marines and they were fighting on every front. And because there were just so many of the damn guys around. But then in Warhammer 40,000, give it 10,000 years, they lose the ability to make new Space Marines. And so, Space Marines become a precious commodity and, you'd only want to send them into where, crisis points, right? You don't have them, fighting off some small rebellion. You don't send them for that, you send them in for, to lead a precision strike to as a spearhead, for the rest of the guard to come in and, it's just tactics. It's just common tactics, right? But this is sci-fi. We've talked about this in the past that, when you start to apply too much realism to this stuff, the entire thing breaks down. It all breaks down, right? So there's no point in trying to equate real world thinking into Warhammer 40,000. There's no point. It's an exercise in futility, and unless you like sitting there spinning your tires for nothing, then by all means go right ahead. But you can't get too realistic in the fantasy universe, and this goes for any sci-fi fantasy type of thing, because that's not the point. The point is, it's fantasy. It's it's to tell stories, and it's to spark the imagination, and that is the whole point of Warhammer 40,000, right? It's to just get the imagination. It's a fun little sandbox to play in, and that's all it is, right? It's just to play in, and it's to play within with these ideas and these tropes within sci-fi, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's all it is. And when you start applying too realistic a mindset to it, it all falls apart. You know what I mean? For one, aerodynamics. Space Marine vehicles. Those things should not fly. In most worlds. Imagine, okay, even if they flew in our kind of atmosphere, that plane, it's relying entirely on its own thrust to move it through the air. So it really doesn't need the wings other than maybe just to stabilize, but you could just stabilize with just more thrusters, right? If the atmosphere is really dense, well, then maybe the wings might help a little bit. If the atmosphere is really, really thinner than ours, you know what I mean? Like, then the wings don't help at all, right? Again, you're just relying on thrust. High gravity, low gravity, you know what I mean? Like, you start really applying these real world ideas to these designs, and the whole thing falls apart. Thunderhawk gunship. That thing is just too heavy, even for those wings, especially considering that it's made of, ceramite armor, like whatever the hell ceramite is, right? A ceramic armor. I don't know. But either way, you don't pull on the threads too hard, because otherwise it unravels the entire thing. And so when people start getting on about, well, you would do this and you would do this, and yeah, okay, first of all, sure, you would do that in a real world situation. Sure. This is fantasy, and it's not meant. It's a sandbox for ideas to play. It's not for real world type of ideas, because first of all, that's absurd. And, so don't do it. It's it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to try and think in those terms. Oh, where am I? I'm talking a while there. All right, because I was talking about being Space Marined out. Yeah, I'm kind of Space Marined out. I want, again, we're just going to keep doing this every week. Games Workshop, please. Eldar. Let's update the Eldar, for God's sakes, right? For God's sakes. There's miniatures on the damn website. Let's go to the website. Okay? Let's go to the website. Let's go to Eldar. Okay? Where's Eldar? You can't even find Eldar. There's Eldar. Craft Worlds. Excuse me. It's Craft Worlds. Okay, we got a brand new Jane Czar. Excellent. We're in the right direction, right? But we scrolled down. Okay, first of all, here. I'm going to go to the screenshot here. Okay? So, Dark Reapers, these sculpts, these are early 2000s or mid 2000s, like 2010 area. These Striking Scorpions, Banshee or Swooping Hawks, and Dark Reapers. These were resculpts from 4th edition, which were not very good sculpts, but they're based on the original sculpt. Well, the Dark Reapers are a little bit more of a updated version of them, but the Striking Scorpions are almost carbon copies. The Swooping Hawks are almost carbon copies of those original sculpts. They're just much more dynamic poses. Look at this Avatar. This Avatar was when the Eldar Codex came out, 2nd edition, and that model, that's what, we're going to be going on damn near 30 years old. The Snipers, I think those were updated like in 4th or 5th edition. Sporp Spiders, these are 2nd edition sculpts. These are 2nd edition sculpts. These sculpts have not changed in damn near 30 years. Come on. Warlocks, I think the one Warlock with the long staff, he's a 2nd edition sculpt. The other sculpts are later editions. The Dire Avengers, they were updated. The Guardians, I think, are mid 3rd edition. Around 3rd edition is when these Guardians came out. The Autarch on jet bike, that's the old jet bike. That's a 2nd edition jet bike. And the Autarch, I think, came out, around 4th edition. They slapped him onto a bike. Warwalkers were updated. The Viper is early 90s. That was 2nd edition late 2nd edition when that came out. But here we go. Look at these guys. The Phoenix Lords, right? Asurman. I would love a new Asurman, especially a big Asurman. I've mentioned this before. I would love to see Asurman, Azurman, whatever the fuck his name is. I would love to see these guys go up to a size similar to Wraithguard. I would love to see these guys bigger, or even like that new. They showed it there a few weeks back for the elves in Age of Sigmar. The guy who's just a suit. He looks like he's just a suit. I would love to see that treatment done for these guys, for the Phoenix Lords. I would love that. That would be fantastic. That's when you read about the Phoenix Lords. That's how I imagine them looking. They're just basically hollow suits moving around, and So, yeah, I would love to see. But these sculpts here, Asurman and Karandras, that's 2nd edition. That's early 2nd edition, because this, I believe, Eldar Codex was the 2nd codex to come out in 2nd edition. Baharoth, Mogan Ra, those are old sculpts. Those are early 2nd edition. Fugan, 2nd edition. That Warlock, he was a resculpt, I think, in early 3rd or 4th edition. And then, of course, that weapon sprue there on the sprue on the right, that came out when Apocalypse, the first iteration of Apocalypse, came out, like the full proper rules. Yeah, that came out because it has the attachments for Tau, which is what, mid 4th edition, late 4th edition. Has Imperial Guard bits, Chaos, Tau, Eldar. Yeah. And the Shining Spears. Oh, the Shining Spears are out of stock. Oh my gosh. Well, if they're out of stock and they're not pulled from the website, we're not getting an update anytime soon. But those are the second edition jet bikes. And those sculpts, those are second edition. So, yeah. Eldar need an update. Now anybody with Jane Czar, is she bigger, like much bigger than her original? You know, is she bigger than the original Jane Czar? I'd like to know. Is there a picture? Well, I guess maybe I can look for a picture. I suppose. Let's look for a picture here. Jane Czar. Wow, I didn't even spell that right. Jane Czar model. Let's go. I want to know if she's the same size or bigger. Does anybody have a size comparison of the two? Come on. I just did a quick image search. Does anybody know of a picture of the two? I want a picture of the two standing side by side. Proper, not an overlay. Does anybody know? Anybody? Anybody? Sorry, I'm still looking. I guess I should look at my chat, right? Hail Bob, she's bigger than the original, yes, but she's not big like the Age of Sigmar elf construct. Well, how do you know how big that guy is? I don't even think that model's out. The Age of Sigmar elf construct. You mean the new guy that's coming out? I don't think that stuff's out. How could you make that comparison? You have no idea how big that guy is. Johnny Shop. Wow, 45 minutes into the show and we're not off the rails yet. No. Wow, look at that. Pretty damn good, I think. Where am I here? Job is left not. If you pull it hard enough, it'll unravel and won't be tight. Go Starman Deluxe. To be fair, Viper still holds up pretty damn well. Oh, and the Falcon Grav Tank. That's second edition. That's mid second edition when that came out. I mean, maybe it was closer to late. But the Falcon Grav Tank came out, and then the Viper came out, or was it the Viper first? Maybe it was the Viper first. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the Viper and the Falcon Grav Tank. The Falcon Grav Tank, yeah, it could use an update as well, just with the new modeling and stuff like that. Because anybody who's put together any of the Falcon Grav Tanks, even if in their brand new boxes, sometimes the two halves, they don't line up properly, and sometimes they're a little warped. And yeah, you got to finagle them. You got to finagle for the finagling. Anthony B, episode 286. Let's go to the website. All right. Is it going to be that kind of day? We're just screw it. Let's go to the website. We'll do it live. I like it though. We're sticking with it. We're sticking with that. That's what we're going with. We're going to the website. Oh man. But yeah, is there a picture? Does anybody know of a picture of Jane Czar? Like the two? Because I'd like to see a comparison. Because I mean, like, well, it's probably out by now, right? Because it's for regular sale now. Maybe I'll have to head down to Max Aggression. Go pick one up. If there are any available. She's 50 bones, but that's where we're at, right? It's a nice looking model. I like it. I probably should get it so I can paint her up. Maybe I'll have to do a beginning to end for her. I don't know if I'd paint her in this scheme, though. I might paint her how I painted her originally. Do I have one? I don't know why I checked back here, but no. I think I have all my singles packed away still. I might paint her like how I painted her before. Maybe I'll go with something different. I don't know. Because like the thing is like I kind of was painting my Phoenix Lords and stuff like that in a similar scheme to like my Samhan Craft World, right? So I was doing, but maybe I'll do something different for her. I don't know. Legion, episode 286, Wraith-sized Phoenix Lords. Oh, yeah. 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 Samuel Luss Gaming Channel. Are you still doing Clash of Clans? I am still doing Clash of Clans. Yes, I am. Yeah, I still do it. I just, it's fun. It's just, kill a few minutes here and there, That's fun. Hail Bop, she's bigger than the original. Oh, I already read that one. Anthony B. 286. Let's compare sizes. Should have said, let's whip it out and let's compare, right? Thankfully, though, I didn't go down that track so that you could end up quoting me on it. So, no, we're going to keep it. Let's go to the website because I've been saying it a lot. Let's go to the website. Enforcer 357, episode 286. Mine's bigger than yours. Yours might be bigger than mine. No, wait. I'm saying mine's bigger than yours. But when you say mine's bigger than yours, you're saying that yours is bigger than mine. I might have to agree. Anthony B. Dang, my second title name was funnier. I know. Everybody's like, oh, I wanted to name it. Samuel Luss Gaming Channel. I'm on your clan. Oh, you're on my clan? Yeah. Yeah, I kept the original names. I didn't even bother changing this stuff. That's good. Oh, we'll keep playing. And we'll run it right into the dirt until, we can't win a war and we, never win a battle and, and nobody joins and people just stop playing Clash of Clans. That's when we'll kill it. Hail Bop, body size is similar to the New Sisters. I have no idea how big those are either. The New Sisters, I didn't think there was a size change in the New Sisters. I was told that they were the same. Now, what about the Banshees? Are the Banshees bigger? The new Banshees? Are they bigger than the old Banshees? It's kind of hard to say. Are they on 30 mil bases? Is there anything that tells me what size of base they're on? No, it says they're on 25 mil base. So if they're still on 25 mil base, then they're probably still about the same size as the old Banshees then. Which can be a little bit disappointing, but again, I was looking forward to this, to scale creep. I mean, I like a bit bigger model. I like the bit bigger model. Bit bigger? Bit bigger. A bit bigger model. Bit bigger. Say that a couple times fast. Bit bigger model. Bit bigger. Bit bigger. Bit bigger model. Sorry, I'm still scanning through the website. I still just kind of... Anyway. Hail Bop, there is. Yes, they stand taller. Oh, they are? Okay. Johnny Chop Shop, Way of the Brush, episode 286. Kris tells you how big it really is. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Because a vast majority of you will go, oh. And a few of you will go, oh. And a couple of you might, oh. But I'm saying, though, a vast majority will go, oh. And then some of you will go, oh. And some of you go, oh. Hail Bop. And it's not true 25. It's more of a 27. The little shrine they come with is on a 25. The little shrine. Huh? You're losing me. You're losing me. What do you mean? They're not. These aren't 25 mil bases. These are 27. Is that what we're saying? Oh, the little shrine, the little dude. Oh, there's a little dude there. What's that little dude about? He's the dude disguised as a dude playing another dude. You don't know which dude he is. I like the unhelmeted head. I would do that just for my army anyway. Not just for Yanari, but I think it's kind of silly to kind of peg it into... No, the unhelmeted head's the Yanari. I think that's kind of silly. Although, in the lore, it's the helmet that gets them into the mindset for killing people. So there is an argument that they always have their helmets on because, they get really killy like that. But yeah, the little shiny thing. I like the little shiny thing. What's the deal with the... Oh wait, it's supposed to be the hag, right? Morag the hag, or whatever the hell. Is that who that's supposed to be? Right? Am I still up on my Eldar lore? Am I still with it, or did they change what it was? Oh, I like that the hair and the helmets are separate. Sorry, I'm looking at the sprues. Yeah, the little shiny thing is kind of cool. What's that big crazy ass detail there? Is that another little shiny thing? Or is that a leg? Oh, it's gotta be a leg. I seen this big crazy detail. And one of the helmets looks like she's got like a Peppy Longstockings thing going on. Like 2 braids coming right off. I don't know what that's about. But either way, yeah, I'm probably going to have to get myself some Banshees. Some new Banshees. I always like Banshees. I know there's a lot of people out there who always poo-poo on Banshees. I like Banshees. Because, you know, you're not always fighting Space Marines. Although, see, the thing is that when people are poo-pooing on Space Marines, it's because in their local metas, they're always encountering Space Marines. And Banshees on their own are not really great at dealing with Marines, because it's the wounding on the 5/6 thing, right? Although now it should be only 4 better, but it's not awesome, right? Or is it 5/6? Man, it's been a while since I played 40k. So anyway, but I mean, that's why you always have like Doom, right? You have a Farseer nearby. It's why you always have to have like support characters in Eldar, so that, you know, you can boost when you need to. You know, you have the Warlocks to boost up abilities or make them a little tougher or faster, whatever you need them to be, right? You have the Farseer close by, so that, you know, again, you can boost them and, you know, make them more powerful, and, you know, it makes Banshees really kick ass. But I mean, Banshees are really fantastic, especially against armies like Tau, who rely on their Overwatch. Banshees kick ass, especially with Jane Czar. There was a small list I was playing, which was just Jane Czar with Banshees and Wraithguard, and that was a really small, tight little army, and it was annoying because Jane Czar would charge in, take the Overwatch off, and then the rest of the Wraithguard would come charging in, right? So that's what you do. Then I discovered that I could just equip my Autarch with the Banshee mask, and, you know, he runs around. Ooh, and the Banshee masks are separate. Oh, I could do a conversion of an Autarch with the Banshee mask. Can the Autarch still take the Banshee mask? Can he? I don't have a book nearby. I don't know. You guys have to fill me in. You guys have to fill me in, because I don't remember. Samuel, do you ever watch Dark Crystal? Do I ever watch it? I did. I watched the Age of Resistance. I watched that. I thought it was great. I'm a big fan. I have the Blu-ray of the original movie. Do I have any other Dark Crystal shit? I'm trying to think. Can't think of anything. But yeah. No, Dark Crystal, fantastic. I love it. It's great. It's awesome. Dr. Zantos, Way of the British, episode 286. I like big models, and I cannot lie. Those other brothers can't deny. When that Banshee comes walking in, that big round thing in your face, you have to clean the mold lines. Hail Bob, I have the models. You have the models? Cool. I don't have the models. I didn't pick them up because they came in that big freaking box set, and I didn't want to pay for a Falcon Grav tank, because I already have a whole bunch. I didn't need another Viper, although I kind of do need another Viper. I actually need 3 Vipers, but I didn't. So I didn't bother with the box, and I didn't want the Dark Eldar stuff. I was only really interested in Jane Czar and the Banshees. And now that the Banshees are like 65 for 5, it's like, whew, man, you know. But I don't know. Enforcer, a couple of you will go. We already knew. Yeah, a couple will go. Oh, we already knew. It's a short list. Legion, the new Sisters of Battle and Eldar are on 28.5 mil bases and are bigger. Really? That's a 28.5 mil base. Okay, well, see, I gotta see some size comparison. Is there any freaking pictures of new banshees, and old banshees? Oh, you gotta have your safe search on for that one. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I'm not on that window, am I? Okay, no, I'm not. Come on, is there a goddamn size comparison? Like, what are you freaking hobbyists doing out there? Come on, I need the info. People are asking these questions. I need to know. I don't see any goddamn size comparisons. If anybody has any size comparisons, send me a link or something. Or post it in Discord. Anyway, that's just gonna anger me up now. I'm just getting mad. Jabba's left nut. Some of us might go, is that in millimeters? Some of you might. I was talking inches, but in fact we were talking millimeters. Nathaniel, what the heck kind of size is 28.5 millimeter? I don't know. I mean, it's a lot, damn it. That's pretty big. 28.5 millimeter. That's pretty damn big. Job's left nut. All Eldar players are helmets. All Eldar players are helmets? Huh? All Eldar players are helmets. Okay. Samuel. Hey, Kris, do you like the Dark Crystal? I just answered. Do I like the... Yeah, I like the Dark Crystal. I like it. What am I, on trial here? Dr. Zentos. Kris getting fired up here. I am kind of getting fired up, man. I'm just like, God damn it. I want my toys now. Give me my toys now. Right now. Not now. Right now. Samuel, it's on Netflix. I know. I just, like I said, I watched it. Age of Resistance. Yeah, I watched it. I know there's a delay, but you just type these in. You're not paying attention. Are you a bot? You're a bot, aren't you? And they have Dark Crystal board games. Yeah, I saw the Dark Crystal board game. I never tried it. I never tried it. And nobody's been like, let's get Dark Crystal board game. And I'm like, oh, all right. And I've never really heard anything saying anybody going, let's get the Dark Crystal board game. You need the Dark Crystal board game. So that's why I've never really gotten the board game. Because, not that I really follow hype or anything like that, but, in the circles I follow and talk to and stuff, and it's like, so. Johnny Chop Shop, 1 hour into the show, and we're still on the rails. Yeah, we are. Holy carmolies. You know what? Since we're still on the rails, let's jump to, because I have a whole bunch to do today, because somebody was a smartass and sent me like 8 emails of stuff, so. Andy Ritchie. Hold on. Andy Ritchie said something here. 28 millimeter is just less than an inch. 28.5 is just over. That's kind of obvious. The change is due to people using models within 1 inch shenanigans. Huh? The change was due to people using models within 1 inch shenanigans. So what difference did the 0.5 do? I don't see what the difference would have been. Because the distance between two bases, it doesn't matter what size of base, the bases are to be within 1 inch. So I'm not sure what difference that would make. I mean, I'm sure I'm asking. I don't know. You're going to have to explain that shenanigans thing part to me. Enforcer, but Kris, my bro dudes, man. You have watched The Dark Crystal? I have. Did you know it was on Netflix? I did know. Dederick over on Twitch. How is 28 millimeter less than an inch? 1 inch is 25.4 millimeter. I don't see how you could have that within 1 inch shenanigan if the base is, you know what I mean? Like if base is 60 mil and the other one's 32, and they got to be within 1 inch. I don't understand what difference it would make if it was 28.5, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not following. You're gonna have to explain. You're gonna have to explain to me because I'm a complete dummy. So you're gonna have to explain it to me, please. I'm a dummy. Where's my dummy sticker? I need a dummy sticker. I just slap it on my forehead. Psh, dummy. Because you're gonna have to explain it to me. I'm not up with that kind of. See, I realize that these shenanigans and distances and stuff like that comes out of the tournament scene, and I do play competitively. Well, I used to play competitively. I don't really anymore. I don't take the competitive stuff too seriously. When in my youth, I used to take the painting competition stuff and the gaming. I used to take that stuff kind of seriously. As I've gotten older, though, I don't give a shit. Whatever. It's a game. It's not important, and it's when you've reached a certain point in your life and you start to gain more perspective on priorities and things like that. Yeah, the game is just a fucking game. Does it matter if it wins? No. Painting, does it matter? No. You know what I mean? Yeah. Samuel Lusk Gaming Channel. Sorry about that. No, don't worry about it. I'm just playing with you, bud. I'm just being a jerk. Aaron Seach. Cut the bullshit, Kris. Where did you find the Bob Ross action figure you posted on Instagram? Bob Ross? Bob Ross is right there. He's standing right beside me. Well, the thumbnail for the show today, I use these guys in the thumbnail. I also have one Funko there, and there's another Funko in the back, behind there. There's a Space Marine right there. But yeah, this is Bob Ross. He's as big as my well, technically, I guess he's taller than me. Bob Ross is taller than me. I didn't know that. But yeah, that's my bauble, and there's Bob Ross. Where did I get it? Well, he comes from what is it? NECA, NECA, the company. They do action figures. Just look that up. Bob Ross, NECA, and you can acquire one for yourself. Where did I get it though? I just got it from an online retailer. Johnny Chop Shop. I love shenanigans. Shenanigans. Java's Left Nut. Are we talking about the American inch or European inch? I don't even know where to go with that. D. Dare. Okay, yeah. Okay, here we go. So base size does affect how miniatures. How many miniatures you can get within 1 inch. You can get more than 20. You can get more 25 mil gene sealers within an inch than 32 mil. Got you. Okay, I see. That's what we're talking about. See, I was thinking. See, I didn't know, right? So I was thinking like the distances between two bases, but you're talking about cramming a whole bunch of bases together. I got you now. Okay. So yes, making the bases a little bit bigger makes it a little bit that there not so many models can get jammed in. Got you. Understand now. I hear you. Makes total sense. Why they did it, I have no idea. To stop that kind of thing, right? Maybe they didn't want so many small, powerful things, I don't know, because gene sealers, do gene sealers still come on 25 mil base? They used to come on 25 mil bases. I mean, everything used to be on 25 mil bases, but I don't know. Do gene sealers still get the smaller base? Anyway. Enforcer 357. Funny enough, are you selling a Bob Ross action figure on GameStop where I work at the moment? Was hysterical to see. Yeah. The action figure? Yeah, he's where's the box? There it is. Yeah. It's it's an action figure. Right? See? Bob Ross. I've talked a lot at length about Bob Ross, and you would think I'm some sort of Bob Ross fanatic, and yet I'm not. Even though at least once a week, I watch one Joy painting just, to mellow out, and it's just kind of fun. I've toyed with the idea of actually filming myself painting along. I've seen other YouTubers do it, painting along to a Bob Ross tutorial, like in real time kind of thing. I was thinking about doing something like that. I'm very familiar with a lot of his techniques. I might. I don't know. It's one of those things, It's just, just one of those. Could I paint along? I guess it really is. Can you paint along with Bob Ross, right? It would be really fun to do something inspired by Bob Ross in that format, to do, a real-time kind of painting where you can paint along. It's like a miniature, right? Take a miniature and paint along and do it like in a half-hour kind of format, right? 30 minutes. That's it. Just 30 minutes. Can you paint Space Marine in that amount of time, right? And I've had some ideas about that kind of thing, to do something that would look not just simply just a base coat, bang, and a shade wash, and haha, we did it. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. I'm talking about something that would look, passable. We're not talking, Golden Demon standard or anything like that, because that's only half an hour. 30 minutes to paint something Golden Demon standard? Come on. But yeah, I've had the idea of doing something like that, so I don't know. Dedrick. G-Series on 25. There is a one box set that had them on 32s. Yeah. It was created, it created a bit of debate, but most recent Army box has them on 25. Really? Interesting. And B, Kris, sounds like Kris is in denial about the being a Bob Ross nut. I know, because I've got Funkos of the guy, I've got his Band-Aids, I've got, you know what though? I don't have any of his paints or his brushes or anything like that. And I bought a palette. Where's my palette? Oh, my palette's way over there. I bought a palette, nice big clear palette. I don't think it's a Bob Ross though. I think it's just a nice big clear palette. But yeah. Anyway. Enforcer. I'm sure you're real familiar with beating the brush, Kris. Just beat the devil out of it. Just beat the devil right out of it. Sammy Loves Gaming Channel. Bob Ross miniature for Warhammer. Do a sculpt of Bob Ross? No. What? Oh. Piss off. No. This is annoying. That's annoying. Sorry about that, everyone. I don't know if everyone... That was really super loud for everyone. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, making a Bob Ross miniature. There's got to be a 28 mil scale of Bob Ross. Somebody has had to have sculpted one at some point. I know there was a sculptor. He was relatively local. I don't think he is sculpting models so much anymore, but he was doing like Thundercats. He was doing Rick and Morty. He was doing a bunch of really great sculpts, and I meant to pick up some, but I never did. Mainly because I wanted to pick up like some. I have. Well, you can see one of my Funkos hiding behind Bob Ross right there. It's a little Mr. Meeseeks, and he sculpted a bunch of Mr. Meeseeks, and I was like, oh frick, those are awesome. Like, yeah, it'd be hilarious to have them on the table and just have a bunch of little Meeseeks running around. Have a scenario where Space Marines are fighting Eldar, and there's a bunch of Meeseeks running around. The planet of the Meeseeks. Johnny Chop Shop. I love to beat the devil out of my brush. Yeah. See, well, beating the devil out of your brush, it kind of goes against, old Chris's motto, right? Take care of your brushes. But then again, beating the evil spirits out of your brush. But, Bob Ross is often using the 2-inch brush, and he's, beating the crap out of that. And they're typically oil brushes, and they're usually like a horsehair, hog hair. They could be a synthetic. I don't know. It looks like on the show, they look like they have a brown coloring to them. So, I mean, there's some brown synthetics as well, but they probably like a hog hair or horsehair, which is a fairly firm bristle, but can come to a nice taper on the ends. And because he's often doing a lot of feathering and blending with that big brush. He does a lot of that painting with his 2-inch brush, right? He knows how to wield the 2-inch. That man knew how to wield that 2-inch. Oh, shit. Nathaniel, if you get GD level in 30 minutes, you either total bonkers or a genius. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about that. Yeah, getting to a golden demon level type of painting, but something good tabletop in 30 minutes, beginning to end, you know? Now, I have some ideas on how one could accomplish that. I've not really played around with it myself. It's something that I think maybe it's something that I can start developing and then, you know, create like a little thing on it. I don't know, but it's an idea. Anyway. Berserker Works. Hey, Kris. 3D print for sure. Yeah. Oh, like Bob Ross 3D print? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody know if there is a 28mm Bob Ross? Somebody had to have sculpted a 28mm Bob Ross. Had to have. Somebody's had to have done it. And if not, any sculptors out there who want to do one, because I totally would buy one. Because it would be hilarious to have them in battle reports or bring them on D&D campaigns or whatever, right? Have them in Necromunda as one of the hive dwellers. He's running around. Oh, there's no accidents. Or no, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents. He's running around as a corpse grinder's chasing him down. Oh, man, I can't wait for my Bandai Space Marine to show up. That's next month. Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm looking for it. He should be about the same size as that Bob Ross. That Bandai Space Marine. He should be about that same size. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. Anthony B. Can do. I love B6, man. I love the fourth season. They had to give you the fan service of having a bunch of V6 in it. Oh man, too funny. Anyway, Berserker Works. Weird Miniature has an alien Bob Ross mini. Post Berserker Works. Are you on our Discord? Post it in Discord. Post it in the general or I don't know, wherever the hell you want. If you're in our Discord, are you on our Discord? Berserker Works. I am confused, but yeah, I've got to see if there's a Bob Ross. I'll buy it right now. I know it doesn't sound like I'm just saying, like, I'm not a Bob Ross fanatic, even though I have a Bob Ross T-shirt, I have Bob Ross Band-Aids, I have a Bob Ross action figure, I have Bob Ross Funkos, Bob Ross, Bob Ross, Bob Ross, Bob Ross. Oh, Bob Ross. That's all you can say now. Bob Ross, Bob Ross, Bob Ross. It's like the Mr. Burns when he's coming out of the coma. Homer Simpson. Anyway. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Damn, I wish I could wield a 2-inch. I'm stuck with one. Yeah. Samuel Loves Gaming Channel. Bob Ross can be a Warhammer painter. That would be funny. Yeah, Bob Ross Warhammer. Just little Benum running around. Berserker Works. You're going to make him fight with Bob Ross, right? Yeah, Bob Ross. Yeah, Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Oh, sorry. I slammed that. Sorry for everybody who has headphones on. Berserker Works. You're going to make him fight the Bob Ross, right? Yeah, I'm going to make the Space Marine. No, he's fighting everybody. I was even thinking about picking up some more because these are 8-inch. I believe this is an 8-inch figure, right? Yes, it's NECA, right? Is it just NECA or is it NECA? Anybody out there who buys these figures regularly, how is it? Am I doing it right? Man, there's a lot of people who go into producing this figure. Bob Ross. I mean, like, I could just put Bob Ross out and, you know, do a comparison, and if it's 8 inches, then it's 8 inches, right? Everybody's like, okay, come on. Don't be silly. Anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Bandai, I'm pretty sure they said it, he's going to be like 8 inches. I'm pretty sure he's 8 inches. Because I think he's 8 inches. Oh, I know he's 8 inches. Oh, man. Anthony B. Me6. can make you less of a Bob Ross nerd. Can do. Yeah, Mr. B6, can you make me less of a Bob Ross nerd? Can do. Fire Trick 18. Geez, I'm trying to paint here, people. All this Bob Ross. Bob Ross? Bob Ross. Bob Ross? Bob Ross. Dr. Santos. Bob Ross? Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Samuel. Bob Ross will be your warlord. Ebb and Flow, sup everybody? Sup Ebb and Flow? Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Holy crap, it's okay. I gotta get to these emails because man, I got a whack ton. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down. But here it comes. Let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. Email time. Email time. That's me dancing terribly. This is from John. Now, he asked this a little while ago, and I think I missed his email. And so I'm getting to it now, obviously. But anyway, it's regarding, if anybody's not familiar with this paint, it's called Black 3.0. And so he's asking about this. Hi, Kris. Hope all is well. I have a few ideas that I'd love to get your opinion on. I recently purchased Black 3.0 from Stuart Semple. I guess there's a link there. If anybody's interested in it, yeah, Black 3.0. Apparently, if anybody's not familiar with this, it's supposed to be like the blackest of black. Like, it absorbs all the light, apparently. But anyway, but have had some difficulty using it. Oh, really? It is the blackest comer made kinda in protest to Anish Kapoor having exclusive rights to Venata Black. Okay, that's an issue I'm not familiar with, but okay. I wanted to use it on some stealth suits with the idea that they will seamlessly blend into the shadows on the battlefield. That sounds like cheating, dude, that you want to have these guys painted so that nobody can see them. You hide them in the shadows on the battlefield, and it's like your opponent doesn't see them, so they're like, oh, okay, I'll carry on with my move, and then all of a sudden your guys pop out, and it's like, but, I mean, but is it cheating? It's kind of, it's kind of beardy, but anyway. I think it would be really neat if an opponent literally could not see your models because of the Black 3.0 online, where you cannot see what is painted when you hold it up to a black background. It says that the paint is blackest when using a hairdryer. Have you noticed any difference to the paint on your models when applying direct heat in the manner? Okay, to address this particular thing, I've never noticed anything when using a hairdryer to speed up the drying process, other than if you have improperly mixed paint, like you've not properly shook the paint in the paint pot or paint bottle, whatever, and gotten a thorough mix of the medium and pigment, and then sped the drying process up by using a hairdryer. Because basically what can end up happening if you do not properly mix your paint and then apply it and then use a hairdryer is that you get that differential between the drying, and you'll end up with a mild cracking or even severe cracking, right? You know how like when you look at like dried mud on the ground, it's kind of like the crackle medium, and I think the crackle medium kind of works on a similar process. And I know there's some crackle mediums, I know like Vallejo recommends you not shake up the crackle medium, and it might work on that kind of on that principle of differentiate different layers drying at different times. I can't remember if it's the top layer dries first and the bottom, and then when the bottom dries it cracks, and because it obviously when the drying occurs it's creating shrinkage, right? Shrinkage, and it's just something to be careful of. That's the only time and that I can think of where you would have an issue with using a hairdryer and drying your paint. Unless, of course, it's a particular brand. But I can't say I've never had that happen. But, yes. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't really get the paint to apply to the model. I've applied 4 thin layers, and yet still the base coat was showing through. I then did a thick layer on top, and it did better, but the paint is still not applying evenly, and typically have not had success with any of the paints applying well to models even with a good spray base coat and some watering down of the paint. Do you have any suggestions for this? I do not, because I've not played with that paint. So I'm afraid I'm a little out of my realm regarding this question regarding Black 3.0. I have not played with this paint. I've seen rumors and such. I think there might be a few videos on it as far as like wargaming is concerned. There might be a few videos on it. Some people out there might have been using it for their miniatures. I'm not 100% sure. It wasn't something that I was particularly interested in because it just sounded like hype to me. It looked like it just sounded ridiculous. So I didn't buy into it. It says I should apply a water PVA mixture to seal it before applying. Do you have any tips on dealing with porous plastic? Porous plastic? I don't even know what porous plastic is. What would be porous? The only materials I can think of that are porous that in the scales we're dealing with here is a ceramic. That's the only thing I can think of that's porous, because plastic's not porous, resin's not porous, pewter's not porous. Well, it kind of can, especially when it's like when it hits the mold and the mold's cold and the metal's too hot or whatever, and it creates that really severe texture on the surface. But I mean, you're dealing with this is kind of a 40K thing because you're dealing with styrene plastic, and styrene plastic is not porous. Not in the sense that we greatly can see it. I mean, I'm sure if we put it under an electron microscope, yes, there's going to be a bunch of pores on its surface, but that's not really what we're talking about here. The artist also says that no top coat sealants will work with Black 3.0. I honestly have not tried, but if conventional sealants will not work, do you have any suggestions for unconventional methods? Well, any kind of sealant, because, I mean, addressing that kind of issue right now, like again, okay, well, dealing with the PVA mixture, dealing with porous plastic, I'm not even sure what exactly what kind of material are we talking about there. Again, like I said, ceramics are porous because ceramics can absorb the paint. I've seen that many times. But as far as pewter, resin, and plastics, typically just about almost all the ones that are, safe for people to handle and use in regards to wargaming and hobbying, I've not seen it. I've not dealt with it. And as far as top coats, it says no top coats. Well, if the manufacturer is saying that no top coats will work, then again, I think this is why I was not interested in this product, because it just didn't seem like something that we could use. It seemed more like a thing for graffiti or like furniture or I don't know. I'm honestly, again, I mean, like I've seen the advertising for this product, and I was not sold. It just seemed a little too ridiculous to me. But as far as unconventional sealing methods, I mean, okay, because here's how I'm imagining how the product works. It's kind of like how matte sealant works on a surface, because as it dries, its surface, okay, if you could look at the microscopic level of the surface, its surface becomes very spiky, and it redirects light and fractures light around, and that's really how you get a diffusion, right? And matte varnish essentially is a diffuser. It diffuses light, it scatters light all different directions, right? Whereas a gloss, perfect transference, light travels in a straight path, right? Matte, like a diffuser, scatters the light into multiple directions, and that's what matte paint is doing. It's scattering the light that you see. That's why gloss finishes look so vibrant to you, because you're getting all of that back to your eyeballs, right? So I would imagine that a matte black, or like this Black 3.0, it was finishing with a very matte surface, and that would scatter the light in all sorts of directions, it further reducing the amount of light that comes back to your eyes. That's what I imagine is how it was working. So putting a sealant on top of it you would have to put a sealant. Like maybe they're working. Maybe that's how they were getting that particular black, was because the matte finish of it was finishing so smooth or so matte that it's just killing all the light reflecting back off that surface, right? And maybe that's what they were selling, was that matte. I have no idea. I'm talking right out of my ass at this point. But that's what I would imagine. At least that's what would make sense to me as far as how they were able to do this and market it as such. I'm not sure. Again, I have not played with this product at all, so I could not tell you. I'm afraid I have absolutely zero advice. But when you start breaking down these things and start breaking down these problems and start, addressing them and coming at them logically, you should be able to come to a solution. Am I back on email? Yes, I am. I'm not sure if I want to base to contrast or complement the black stealth suits. What do you think would work great as a base to really highlight the contrasting darkness? If I were to go to the opposite route without base, city ruins, or something in space, it depends on your tabletop. Thanks, John. Oh, thanks, John. Excuse me. Sorry for everybody who had headphones on. So this is the Black 3.0. Let me switch views here. There we go. So this is Black 3.0. Stuart Supple. Anyway, this I remember this being marketed. This was a few years ago, anyway. And I mean, I didn't bite. It wasn't something I was interested in. And I'm not sure. I don't even remember what the hell was being used for. Why the hell why would you be applying this to something? But anyway, this is the product he was talking about. And I mean, to the camera, like those things look like damn silhouettes. That's pretty dark. Now that looks like a few coats? But I mean, like, okay, if you were laying down a bunch of coats onto your model and you were having problems with this and you were finally, like after about 4 or 5 coats, you were finally getting good coverage, maybe prime with a black and then lay this on the surface. Now, do you have an airbrush? I see these on handles, so I'm going to assume you have an airbrush. So you should be able to lay this down pretty well, doing a matte black or just a regular black prime, and then using this paint on a surface. I think that would look really darn cool. If you've continued on with this project and finished it, please let me know. As far as the bases are concerned, again, it's whatever the rest of your army's done, like whatever gaming surfaces you play on, or because I mean that's really what your bases should be, because the models, this particular paint, you're relying on this particular paint to achieve your desired result. The base can be anything, right? I mean, yeah, the base can be anything. It can be dark grays, browns, greens, whatever, because you're relying on this paint to provide your effect. Now, having said that, I think picking out the lenses would be really cool. But, I mean, if you want to go for that completely stealth black, these guys are invisible kind of thing, then leave them as is. And just do up the bases. Do the bases really nice, right? Spend some time on the bases since, you're only doing basically a base coat on these models. Yeah. Is there another picture? No. But, I mean, like, judging from these pictures, though, like, this looks black. Like, I can kind of see some of the detail of the gun I can see on the guy in the foreground. But, yeah. But, yeah, I would prime this black. Prime it black and then use this paint. If you're still going to use this paint. I mean, I don't know. And send pics. Send more pics. Let me see, what you get up to there. Because, yeah. Was that it? Oh, there was one more picture. No, I can't click it. Why can't I click it? I don't know. I can't click that last picture. It's crazy. Okay, so that was that one. Yeah, thank you, John, for sending that in. There we go. Go with this one. Okay. Quick look at the comments. What time are we at here? Holy cramoles. Yeah, we better hurry up because I'm taking off there in the afternoon. So I got shit to do. Got shit. Got all sorts of shit. Nathaniel Ravengard approves of this black. Yeah, the black looks really darn black, right? I mean, in those pictures, I mean, those guys look like silhouettes. The shadows revealed more about the model than that black paint was. So, I mean, when I saw that advertised like a while ago, I was like, whatever. It's some sort of gimmick. You know, I'm sure that's probably what it is. It's probably some crazy matte finish it finishes with. And that's probably why they don't recommend putting any kind of sealant on it, because you're going to end up revealing. Like imagine, okay, just a thought. Imagine you basically finish with a very matte finish, and then you throw a gloss on top of that. Well, obviously, that's going to refract all sorts of light back to you, right? And so all sorts of things are going to become apparent to you, and you're going to lose that blackness. Even a matte finish might not even finish as matte as what that paint finishes with. That paint might be some ultra matte finish. I don't know. I've not played with the paint, so I can't say 100%. I'm just talking, really, I'm talking out of my ass at this point. So, you know, take it with what you will. If there are anybody out there, if there is anybody out there that has painted with this paint and used it on miniatures and, you know, has gotten great success doing whatever, I don't know, please feel free to share. But yeah. I've not played with that paint though, and honestly, I have really no interest in using it. I don't need things to be black, you know, blackest of black, because we do highlights and stuff on miniatures. We don't need to just spray a black on or paint a color on a surface and then leave it. Very often we don't, right? So, yeah. Jabba's left nut. Did someone just ask Kris how to paint black and doesn't know the answer? No, but it was with the paint. It was the black 3.0. If you've not heard of that, just do a quick search. Yeah, do a quick search, black 3.0, and you'll see what we're talking about. Scott Radum, the black 3.0 painted got ripped all to hell on every painting group I'm a part of. Overall, the consensus was to throw it away and just take it as a loss and keep it moving. Really? So, okay, now Scott, like, I'm sure you're probably plugged into more more painting groups than I am. I'm really not part of any, really, other than heavy metal or heavier metal on Facebook. Other than that, I'm not really part of any painting groups because I don't know, I'm just not. But anyway, so if everybody was shitting on it, then yeah, you know, there's probably a lot of truth to just not using it, right? Now, for his goal, for just using just that on the miniature, I mean, that looked kind of like a win. I don't know. I think the only thing is that he should have primed black, laid the black on top. That way he didn't have to lay so many layers down, and then let it finish the base nicely, and you have these shadowy, you know. I would probably do the lenses, though, so that the lenses are glowing out of that blackness, right? I'm sure on the tabletop it looks pretty darn cool. I don't know. I'm speculating. Again, theorizing, no experience using it, talking out of my ass. So take from that what you will. Berserker Works. Have a great day, Kris. See ya. See you later, dude. J Koss, 1980. You can get a similar black from Endria Color. The flat black they got is black. I have used it as a base. Did not see the details. Interesting. Yeah, it's just a flat black. I mean, I've used like Scale 75's flat black. That's really finishes flat. Vallejo's flat black. It finished pretty darn good. Games Workshop black is kind of a bit of a glossy black, but when they redid it, because it's not Abaddon black anymore, it's Corvus black, right? And I know that they reformulated black. Games Workshop reformulated from Abaddon black to this new version. And this version of Corvus black, I know, is different from Abaddon black. And it should be actually a much richer and deeper black. But I think it still finishes with like a semi-gloss finish. So it's not going to be a flat black. Pretty sure. But anyway, I'm trying to think what other blacks have I played with. Carbon black, either the Liquitex ink or golden paint. No, those finish with a gloss finish, just because it's such a small pigment and it just goes on so fine, but it just completely obscures. But I mean, as soon as you throw a matte on it, it's black. So yeah. Ebb and Flow, those mini are as black as coal bin at midnight. Yeah, I mean, they're dark as hell. I mean, for the effect you want on the tabletop, I mean, like, what do you like? sometimes it's expectation versus, you know, realization. And, you know, you might have been imagining a black paint that was like, you know, it's like a singularity. It's just absorbing all the light and it's just, they're gone. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think that's a very realistic expectation of the paint. You know, and I mean, again, and if like what Scott's saying, that a lot of other painters, wargamers, miniature scale modelers, whatever, have been using this particular product and they're all poo-pooing on it, then, you know, there's probably some truth that, yeah, I mean, and again, I've talked about this in the past, that, you know, there are no miracle products. There is no particular paint or brush or whatever that's, you know, going to be the end all be all of things. And, you know, that kind of just, you know, proves my point, as it were. Ebb and flow. Those minis are so black. Michael Bloomberg asked officers to stop and frisk them. That's awful. Nathaniel, I'd get a headache watching the mini for too long. Oh, trying to look and try to see the detail, especially if it was like not giving you anything. Yeah, I can see that, because I get that way now with white. If something's really, really white, like if I prime, like, because I've been using StanoRes, and the StanoRes white is just really bright, and I paint like with my model and the light really close by, and yeah, sometimes I can't see the model. It's like, oh, for God's sakes, yeah, exactly. I hear you, dude. Alrighty, let's get into this one. This one's a long one. This one's from Darren. So, hey, Kris, I recently finished my Death Guard army. Hope this isn't too many emails. Enjoy. No, it's not too many emails. No such thing. Is a lot, but no such thing. Yeah, there we go. So let's have a peek. Oh, he's got them all arrayed nicely. Here's the whole force. He's just recently finished his Death Guard. Who are these dudes? What are these models from? They look pretty darn cool. They don't look like anything from GW. They look like somebody else. But I like the helmets on them. It's kind of like this, like they're imitating the Plague Marine kind of thing. These guys are really cool. What are these from? Does anybody know what these are from? Is Darren here today? I don't know if Darren's here. I like them. Oh, they're even on different bases. So yeah, they're from somebody. I don't know. These are models I'm not familiar with, so I could not tell you. If anybody's asking, I could not tell you. These look like pretty standard Plague Marines. I like them. And I'm going to assume that this the gaming mat that you've got there goes along with your gaming area. I imagine you're probably gaming from home, and your bases are done in a similar fashion as what your gaming surface is, which only makes sense. And, you know, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was the first one. There's like, sit back, folks, because there's a bunch of these. Here's part 2. Here we go. Let's go here. There we go. So here's more of his. Oh, look at this guy on the right. Is that a conversion? This guy in the far right here with the bug head. Or is there a model with that head? Or is that a conversion? I like it. Either way, I like it. I'm in. Nurgle's my god. I'm sure I've mentioned that before. I'm a Nurgle. Marine. Oh, I like the different color in the belly. I like that little purple. Creating that necrotic kind of look, that bruising. Very cool. I like the color scheme. I like the overall look of your army too, that it all has this very kind of cohesive vibe. I like that. Man, there's so many dudes here. I'm the dude playing the dude. Yeah, this guy here with the swords right in the center. Is that a conversion too? Those swords look really good. They look really rusty and busted up. Is that it? That's it for this email. That's part 3. Here we go. Go here. The weathering on your drones in the back, or whatever the heck those things are called, I can't remember what they're called. It looks like you were laying it down, then you wiped it away. It's interesting. Kind of a bit of a, excessive tide marking and such. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if that's the process you were going for or what, but because it looks really heavy on the one on the left. I think if you're going to do that kind of wiping away, I would seal the model first, thin the paint down a bit, apply it, and then wipe it. Or dab it. Get a dry paper towel and dab the surface. That way you create a slight texturing. Because there is, on like even on these drones here, there is some surface to play with. Typhus. I like typhus. Is that it for this one? That's it for this one. I keep switching back because I just don't need you guys to see all the bullshit emails. I got things going on. That's why I keep switching back and forth. But there's a whole bunch. There's 8 of these. Like I said, sit back, get comfortable, because we got a bunch to get through here. I like the typhus. I like your painting on the Marines. Well, these guys, I can't remember what the hell these guys are called. These guys are like some sort of champion unit. See, I'm looking at Buddy on the far left here, and I like the color transition you got going on the leg armor, and you got the bit of greens going on. I like the different colored helmet, or, well, the cloth on the helmet, or whatever it is. I like this typhus model, too. It's far more dynamic than the original. I really like it. I like it so much that I almost want to pick one up. Just to paint. Typhus, this model, Typhus, is one of those models for me, is just kind of, yeah, I'd like to paint it. You know? I like the rusting on the armor, on the main armor of the tank, the hull. Looks really good. I think with that kind of rust effect on that surface, I think if you did a sort of highlight on that, the what should be the white armor, to create a bit of false depth on that surface. You just kind of highlight the bottom portion of the rusting. I've demonstrated a few times where you highlight the undersurface, so it creates a bit of a depth, visual depth. All these little sorcerer dudes. I have no idea what the names are for these new guys. I'm sure a bunch of you are screaming at your screen right now. Kris, it's these guys, for God's sakes, man. Get it together, man. Ooh. Look at this one. All this texture on this. This looks like a conversion. I like the tracks. Is this like... Did you do all this converting? This is really good. I like this. I like the door is sucked away and it's like this tentacle mouth in the side. That's really cool. I really like this piece. Oh, I like the little skull with the texture on the bottom there, right below the symbol here. I like that. The color scheme too reminds me of that old Golden Demon winner from way back in the day. Did a Predator tank, had like a Nurgle face on it and everything. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this. Is this a conversion, or is this something you buy? Is this like a Forge World thing? I have no idea, folks. Little Nurglings all over the place. And you know, I loves me some Nurglings. Okay, I see that door, and I see that symbol on the door. That makes me think that this is a Forge World conversion. Sorry, I'm just going to check the comments here really fast. Is anybody? I'm just seeing if Darren. Oh, Darren is here. Oh, those guys are from Anvil Industry Tox Troopers. Okay. All right. Okay. And Darren says the Rhino is an upgrade kit from Wargame exclusive. Oh, okay. So all that texture there, that's somebody else who created that. Okay, I thought maybe this was a conversion from you. I was like, wow, this is really kick-ass. Not to say that your work isn't kick-ass. I'm having a lot of fun looking at that. That's really quite the sculpt. Get a closer look at these guys. Nurgle too. Oh, I like your work on the backpack there. The guy with the canister on his back. I like that. I really get the sense that that's full of liquid. It's a really good job. With Nurgle stuff, it's kind of like orcs, where you can kind of paint them haphazardly, and it still looks really good. Nurgle's kind of like that. You can do that kind of thing. Nurgle as well, you can kind of, you can play with all sorts of colors. They don't have to be just browns and greens. They can be all over the place, because, Nurgle is everything, right? Really good work on the guy on the right and the left, but on the right, I really noticed that the drippy slime coming out of his gun or whatever it is, and his backpack. Those immediately jump out to me, and then my eye immediately goes to his face with that red eye lens. That's really good. Sorry, I'm just absorbing everything. I just realized I was quiet there for a bit. I'm just looking at the models. Yeah, really nice work on the typhus. I really like that. That's fun. What do I got? A couple more here. That was 6, so this is 7. Right? Yeah. That death roller in the front, that's definitely a place where you can do some slime or some gore. I recently did a video on, gore. A subject matter that, I don't often get to play with too often. Doing gory, goopy things. I like the blade on this guy. That definitely looks like something you don't want to get cut by. You definitely don't want to get cut by that guy. That was 7 of 8. Where's the 8 of 8? Oh, you sent it twice. Yeah, it looks like you sent it twice. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right, buddy. It's all right. I really like the guy in the center. I like the mouth. And it looks like you're throwing gloss on some of the points too, because I'm looking at the guy on the right, and it looks like the pustules on his belly have a gloss, but the armor has a matte finish. I like that. I like that, difference in texture on a surface. It's something that only really reads well in real life. Makes for really great gaming pieces when you have that, that variation in texture. Yeah, these guys fit the army pretty well. Ooh, I like the guy in the middle in the eyes. Got that kind of haunted glow look. Really good stuff, Darren. I don't really have too much to offer as far as critiquing, other than, take your time and, yeah. What time are we at here? Holy carmolies, we're almost at 2 o'clock. I gotta hurry up here, because I still have couple more email to go. Anything from the comments? Aaron Seach, do some gore in the death roller then at the bottom of the model itself, so it looks like it got splattered and it would be on it. That would be sick. Yeah, like the rollers were just going in, you know, and it's dripping everywhere, and you see like an arm hanging out of it or something like that. Yeah, that'd be gross. That'd be gross. Legion, those Chaos Cultists are Tox Troopers from Edinburgh Miniature Company. Cool. Fire 18, the Amble is starting to take shape. Pics, send pics. Nice paint on those Nurgle dudes. Yeah. The paint job on the Nurgle dudes, I like. Obviously, you know, you could take more care and take more time, but obviously it feels like you are working, you know, to a deadline kind of thing that you want to try and get these guys done for something. And so, you know, again, you know, just getting finer refinements on miniatures and painting and getting those details and stuff, it's just taking more time, you know. And realistically, how much time do we have, right? And so, how can we ever have time unless we ever take time? So, but I mean, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, hurrying up through a project because you want to, you know, game with them or, you know, whatever. Because, again, this is a hobby, and, you know, there's no right or wrong way to this hobby. I mean, other than, you know, just not doing it, you know. Everybody should paint their armies, but nobody says that you have to paint your army. But if you're going to play, you should play with painted armies because it adds to the visual experience, and because it is such a visual and tactile thing that you should want to play with painted armies, because spectators are going to see the spectacle in front of them, and it's going to create interest. And people who are already kind of spectating this kind of thing already have a passing interest in it. And when they see how awesome it all looks on the tabletop, they go, oh, wow, that looks fantastic. Look at these armies. And you know what I mean? You don't have to win awards with your models. You can throw out just a base coat, do the bases, and have them on a table. And then, you know, because when a whole army are arrayed together, it looks awesome. It looks impressive. Like, you know, Space Marines, when they're all painted the same color, and you put the decals on, and you did the bases, you know what I mean? That whole thing looks really kick-ass, even if they're just base coated, maybe just a shade wash. You threw the decals on, and you finished the bases. You know, that army already looks really kick-ass. And so, you know, just getting those projects completed, and, you know, getting finer details on stuff. Now, like, to go with, like, Darren here, you know, spending a bit more time on, say, character pieces, the sergeants, typhus, you know, those kind of things. Definitely take the time. You know, the vehicles, definitely take the time, because those are often very focal points that often other people are looking at. Whereas, like, rank and file, getting them all done, but getting, say, the sergeant done, or the unique pieces within the unit done to a little bit better standard, spending a bit more time on them, you know, definitely will help, especially if you're going to take them out on the road and, you know, do tournament, that kind of thing, or if you just want to impress your buddies, you know, whatever. There are many reasons to finish models to any kind of particular kind of standard, you know. Sometimes it's just your personal satisfaction, right? So, but anyway, another email time. Yeah, this one. Here we go. This one is from Wa-ing Templar. Hi, Kris. A long-time viewer of Way of the Brush, and always tried to join in on the live stream, but life sometimes, most of the time anyways, gets in the way. I've meaning to send you some pictures of my work and wondering your thoughts and any tips on improving my work. I get told my work is great, but I feel like there is room for improvement. Well, that's good, because there's always room for improvement, I'm sure. Keep doing what you're doing, as it helps me through painting burnout, which happens often for me. Haha. Apologies about the pictures and lighting quality. Thanks again, Monkey King, Wa-ing Templar. And so let's have a look at his work. And, oh, look at these little fellers. So he's got some Caradon Overlords. Looks nice and clean. Areas of improvement. I mean, you know, going for more contrast within the metals. You know, like I'm noticing like on the toes of the boots, you know, you can spend a little bit more time there pushing those highlights. You know, the nuts and bolts and rivets, again, pushing the contrast within the metals. Seam lines, your prep of the miniatures, I'm seeing some of that as well. Again, but like as I was saying, it's just spending more time on the miniature, right? Oh, look at this. I mean, otherwise your paint jobs are nice and clean. For the fiery effects, stuff like that, you can thin your colors down a little bit more, create a little bit more blends, or try even different techniques. For example, wet on wet blending, glazing, or, you know, feathering, or, you know, there's various techniques you can give a try. Of course, you know, breaking out from doing you know, the color scheme right from the box art, maybe branch out into other areas and explore other colors and other areas. For example, like the horns on his helmet, you know, you can create like a bright redding to yellow in those areas, and, you know, find other opportunities to create visual interest and all these kind of ideas. Pushing the details, the eyeballs like on his belt buckle, painting it like an eyeball. You know, maybe you want to look at creating OSL in the lenses of the helmet, or in the lens of the staff, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's all sorts of areas where you can, you know, again, like you said, you where you think you can improve. I think really the first thing I think you should be looking at is possibly getting used to thinning your colors down a bit more. I can see some areas of the paint, it looks a little bit heavy. That's the way the light is reflecting. I'm looking at like the cloak, but I mean, nothing wrong with it. The color looks great. The next thing as well is not relying, and I've mentioned this before, not relying on shade wash to provide your shadowy points. You can start laying them in deliberately. Again, thinning down your color a bit more, working on feathering, blending, glazing, you know, what have you, right? Oh, look at this guy. This guy looks good. That looks great. I think your OSL effect, you could probably push that glowing white from his hand. You can push that back a bit more mid-tone blues, lighter blues. I think you can push that in towards the center of his hand more. Same with on his staff. His flesh from this distance, and the wings look fantastic. It looks like you're following like the box art, so, you know, it's not so much your use of color, but it's probably your execution as far as, you know, particular technique. I would be mindful of the dry brushing. I would be mindful to pull more of the paint off so that you don't go for this overbrushed kind of look, because like it looks, I can see like on the ends of the feathers, it looks a little bit too heavy. Again, it's just, you know, a patience thing. Shade wash, again, like I mentioned, like on the tabard on his loincloth there, or his loincloth. You know, don't rely on the shade wash to provide your effects. But it looks like you've got a really great handle on, you know, staying accurate, applying color where it should be. Yeah, it's. I think you. Oh wow, this looks really good. I like the glowing blue orb on the. I don't know what the hell that thing is on the roof, but anyway, yeah, I like your color transition. I like the color scheme. I think this is right out of the book, right? This dark magenta and bone color. Yeah, I think that's probably your next phase is looking at other techniques. I think really the big one too is thinning your color down as well. Again, take your time, but it looks like you know you got a really great handle on that. Also, another thing to be mindful of is maybe not priming with black. Maybe prime with a light gray, or even a white. I know with models that have a lot of metals on them, the tendency is to go a lot of black. And again, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But if you can do sub assemblies, you know, maybe look at that as well. Um, was it Helbrecht? It looks like you're going for a bit of a OSL on the bottom of his foot and his cloak, and it looks like on his knee as well. I think you can push that lava to almost to a brighter yellow, almost a white yellow, I think you can push that just to increase that level of contrast. I don't think you have to go that gray on the base. I think you can push it a little darker. Again, pushing the contrast is making the brighter points brighter, pushing closer to white, and the darker points darker, pushing closer to black, right? Really good. That looked like freehand on this cloak there in the back. That was pretty good. Yeah, see, like with the yellow of the rockets, I would like to see them brighter yellow. Whereas it looks like you went from a black primer and you built the yellow on top of that, and you probably didn't want to lay so many layers down. And yeah, but thankfully Citadel base paints cover on top of black pretty darn good. So if you started off with, say, like Averland Sunset on that yellow, and then pushed it to the Bad Moons, or what is it, Flash Kits, whatever it is, you know, you pushed it that way, you'd have probably ended up with a much more satisfying yellow. Yeah, same thing. Because I'm thinking that you're priming black and then you're pushing these brighter colors, right? Whereas you might be better off priming light gray or even white. Again, as Kris always says, if you want it bright, you prime it white, right? Ooh, I like the metallic red. That's cool. Like the flames. Yeah, I like your technical ability to remain accurate to the painting surfaces is really good. You know, color is where it should be, and you know, that's often the first hurdle for a lot of people, is staying accurate, being observant to all the details, paying attention to all those things. You're off, you know, you're doing really great. Keep going, and just keep painting. Yeah, just keep painting, and be mindful of other techniques. And when you feel like, you know, you're ready to venture off into another technique, you know, by all means, give it a try. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And if you fail at it, don't let that discourage you, because everybody fails. But the big important part is, though, is when you do fail, work out, well, why did it fail? I see, I did this, or I didn't do this, or, you know what I mean? And so learn from it so that the next time you try, you're doing better. And that should be with all aspects of painting, of whatever it is you're working on. So don't be afraid to fail. Everybody fails, but learn from the failure and keep moving forward. Don't let the failures discourage you. In fact, just see them as learning opportunities. Everybody fails. Everybody fails. Nobody is awesome at this right from the start. At least I've not seen it. Paul Noxy 47. Damn, just hit the bell as I missed this started. Oh, yeah, you gotta ring that bell. Ring that. What is it? Ring my bell. Anyway, Scott Radham, good job on the Nurgle Army. Always great to see a whole army on the table. Yeah, exactly, right? Ebb and Flow, Canadians, as Kevin Smith says, red, white, but never blue, eh? Have you been just doing dad jokes in here the whole time since you showed up, Ebb? Is that what you've been doing? Have you been doing freaking dad jokes? So anyway, awesome work. Thank you, Andrew, for sending that, or Wa Templar for sending that in. Awesome stuff. We did that one. We did that one. Holy cramoly, I got so many. I might be behind today because I got to get going soon here. Yeah, we'll do one more here. And this one is from Sergeant Shamrock. All right, here we go. Good afternoon, oh great paint master. Actually, it's starting to hurt my throat and I'm dry. I've got nothing. I got no fluids. I'm coughing now. I have a few projects I've been working on this week to address the questions regarding bottle droppers being upside down. Because last time we were showed Sergeant Shamrock's email, I noticed there was a paint dropper bottle upside down, and I thought maybe he was, because I periodically turn my dropper styles upside down because the thinner medium pigment separates, and so you periodically should do that with your paints. I do that with my Vallejos, Scale 75s, Turbo Dorks, all that. Anyway, I'm very kind of tight guy and wanted to get as much as possible out of my paints before tossing them, and this helps to get it down to ready to use. First up, today is a quick Gloomhaven tabletop rush commission. I can't show these to the client yet as the models are in the boxes until the game starts or some malarkey that I'm unfamiliar with. I realize now I have not yet done the bases. My bad. CNC welcome, as always, Sergeant Shamrock. That hurts my freaking throat to do. And so here is, what the hell is it from Gloomhaven? Okay. I like the guy in the middle. That's really fun. The fiery person on the left looks really cool. Skull Duder on the right. I like this shield. It looks really fast, but it conveys that woody texture on the back of this shield. That's really cool. Oh, I like the little kitty cat thing in the middle. That's fun. These look like pretty fast, straightforward kind of paint jobs. Yeah. I dig them. Yeah, the bases aren't done. I am going to assume, because this Gloomhaven is a board game, that the bases will get done like the board game. I know there's a second part to this. Holy shit, there's 3 parts of this. Okay. Holy crap. There's more to this. There's more text. Yeah. Hello again. I did not, of course, expect you to get through all the emails today, but I shall send them your way regardless. Here we have some 3D print. Oh, this is not a continuation. This is part 2, but this is something else. Son of a bitch. You tricked me. Here we have some 3D printed buildings for Marvel Prices Protocol. Marvel Prices Protocol. I was sent to paint. Jeez. There's the 3-tier police station and the Donut Shopperoo. That sentence doesn't make any fucking sense. There is a donut sign on top, which I haven't assembled painted yet. I ran out of gray paint for the interior walls of the police station, so have to wait to try to smooth out layers on the walls. The tiles were difficult to paint as the buildings came assembled. Some work still needed, but the usual CNC welcome, regards, and thanks, A. Sergeant. A. Sergeant, Shamrock? Did you, type this out really fast? Because... And so here is the 3D printed. Is it you said 3D printed? Very cool. So there's interiors. Obviously, I have not played. Oh, look at this! Holy carmool! I like the little peace symbol on it. Texture in the building, really cool. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So it has this nice little texture inside and everything. That's cool. Little interrogation room. Do not worry, be happy. I get it. I get jokes. Very cool. The interiors. We've got doors on the side and everything like that. Son of a gun. It's all sorts of detail. Is that it? That was it. CNC, these look still kind of work in progress to me, so I don't really have any kind of comments other than take your time. Don't rush it. When doing, now, the way some of it looks like you have an airbrush and the tiles. I'm looking at the tiles. Could you not just mask those tiles off? Right? Spray them. Just kind of speed up your process a little bit. Holy carmoles. We got one more to do from Sergeant. And then I think I'm going to have to call it because, yeah, I got to get going here. Hello again and again. Are you sick of me yet? Because I'm not sick of sending these. This is the last email for the week anyway. 2 Gaunt Summoners, 1 disc, 1 on disc, 1 on foot, then Changeling. I tried to blend as best I could, but I think I need a lot more practice because I get to a stage where I'm happy with, but for my current level, it will have to do. Any tips or CNC is always welcome. Thank you for any feedback provided and reading through my ramblings. Yours lovingly, Sergeant Shamrock. Lovingly. Okay, so this is the changeling. I like the flames on his hand, on the tendrils that kind of come out from under his cloak. I think you could have probably built towards the center more, a bit brighter, kind of underneath the cloak, and then getting kind of darker out towards the ends of the fingers of flames. I think the highlighting on the cloak itself, the lighter blue in the flesh, I really like what's going on in the flesh. I like that little hint of that purple in the flesh. That's really cool, mixing with the blue. We're starting with the back sides of these guys. That's kind of interesting. I like the bright silver. Of course, the shade wash on there, picking out those details. The flesh, I'm really digging what you're doing with that flesh. That's kind of cool. I think just thinning your paint down as you're laying those highlights down on the cloak, thinning that blue down a little bit more. If you're looking to kind of glaze those highlights, of course, you might want to look at two brush blending or wet on wet blending. That's also a possibility. It really all depends upon what level and how far you want to push it. But if you're not comfortable with those concepts yet, then by all means, don't bother. Continue to layer the highlights down. I would highly recommend, though, you start thinning your paints down. If you're going to apply more and more layers, essentially just glazing, right? Glazing essentially is just layering. That's all it is, really. And apply those layers down and slowly build that gradient down. I do really like the flesh though. I like how you had that little splash of color in there. It looks like you were highlighting up with blues and whites, and then you kind of had like a purple glaze in there or something going on, and it throws this tinting off. And I like that, actually. I like how that looks. So thank you, Sergeant Shamrock, for sending that in. I'm just having a quicker look, like a zoomed in look at the models here, and yeah, definitely don't rush your way through. Pay attention to those details, get the paint into those nooks and crannies, clean up edges. If you do end up hitting paint onto other areas, come back and with that color and clean those edges up. But yeah, don't be in a rush. Assembly, I'm looking at the guy who has the book on the disc. Take care of those mold lines. Take care of your prep. Clean those nubs off, Especially if you're going to go, especially on character pieces, you're going to go and, try and bring it to a higher standard. Again, even if you spent hundreds of hours on a paint job, if there's still a seam line there, or mold line, or a little paint or a little sprue nub hanging off the model, that immediately takes the viewer out of the experience. So be mindful of that. Again, good model prep is, taking care of those mold lines, being sure not to over prime the model, and laying down a nice smooth base coat, as Kris always mentions. But yeah, so I am afraid I'm going to have to end it there, because I still have emails from Scott, Andrew, and Legion. So I'm afraid I will have to continue those next week. Let's just blame Darren for sending us so many goddamn pictures. No, I'm just kidding. Don't blame Darren. I'm glad Darren sent a whole bunch of pictures. That's good stuff. It's always appreciated. And yeah. But yeah, don't be afraid to send more emails. And I wanted to get to Scott's today too. Son of a bitch. So yeah, don't worry. Legion, Andrew, and Scott, I do have your emails. We will get to those. We will do it. Fear not. Fear not. Fear not. What time we at? Oh crap. Yeah, we're 20 minutes over time. Any comments that I'm missing? Darren says, I use gloss varnish on the pustules, mutations, and anything else glass. Very cool. Yeah, I like that on tabletop models, having the glossy surfaces and matte surfaces. I often do that, even semi-gloss. For example, like on flesh on a character, like if something fantasy and he's got flesh and he's got fur, I like to finish fur off with matte because fur often has a matte kind of finish. You don't really see a glossy finish other than like say for example like horses. Horses kind of have that kind of look to them where the hair looks kind of glossy, but that's often like a short hair will kind of have that glossy like look to it, whereas long hair often has a very matte. Glass, again, I often finish, with a gloss surface because it preserves that and also reflects the ambient light in whatever gaming room you're in or whatever environment you're in, and it just helps add that to the model so that it just helps the viewers, and it just it adds dimension to the model. Oftentimes, everybody wants to do like a non-metallic metal surface, or even like object source lighting. If you don't really push that contrast, it does not work on the model very well, right? Or if they push too big a OSL, like Darren had sent in the was it Darren? Shit, I can't remember now if it was his Magnus. The OSL was kind of large, like the bright point was a little too big, and in fact the blues should come in. The size of the OSL was fine, there was nothing wrong with that, but the color bands should have come in a little closer so that the white was a little bit closer, because I know there's like an eyeball or something in his hand, and the white should come in a little closer, like the eyeball, the white of his eye, that should be the only part that's white, and everything else should be a very, very light blue, building out to a finer gradient, and it can go to that dark blue out towards those edges, and so just think about those next time. And Darren says blame accepted. Dederick, thank you for the stream. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, I was gonna jump to another thing here, but yeah, I think we're all done with the emails today. I seen that Games Workshop sent out their thing. Lately, I don't know why, I've been kind of just quickly looking at like the pre-order shit from Games Workshop, but it's their usual spiel. They're pushing the other books, and they get started. Oh, and it's all about the Seraphon this weekend too. Are those new? Oh no, I thought those were new sculpts for those flyers, but I think those are the old sculpts for them. They're wingy thingies. I can't remember what the hell they're called. Pterodons? Is that what the hell they're called? Anyway. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Finally got around to putting the tracks on the Chimera. I got last October. Kind of tedious, so was glad to have the show on. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you got some work done. I didn't get any work done. I'm heading out. I'm actually heading across the river because there's a place I want to check out. Hopefully they have a product I'm looking for. I'm also... why is that all screwed up there? My brushes are all in a weird position. Sorry, nitpicking. I just noticed now. I just got to be mindful, how the hairs sit, because you don't want to prematurely bend the hairs. But anyway, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm nitpicking again. So if you're brand new to this hobby, you want to help with the color scheme or maybe a particular technique, or you just want some feedback on your work and, possibly where areas to improve, feel free to send those emails in. If you're going to send pictures with those emails, which, I highly recommend, because oftentimes, describing what problem you might be having with particular paints, products, whatever, particular techniques, sending a picture with that email. Again, picture's worth 1,000 words. So instead of trying to describe what is happening, the description helps, but sending a picture so that I can go along with your description, you know what I mean? Helps a long way. So send those emails to Kris@wavethebrush.com, as well as a link to wavethebrush.com in the description below. Central hub of all this silliness has links to all the social medias. Discord, join us on Discord if you can't wait for the next episode and you really want some feedback, or maybe you want some feedback from others, or you're looking for all around just feedback on your work, because we have all sorts of channels in the Discord. And again, I invite everybody. We've created a really nice little community there. The monkeys are more than helpful and are willing to share their work, and so people are posting all the time in there. So join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. As well, wayofthebrush.com has links for t-shirts. Want to help the cause? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world? They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, because why not? Also, at wayofthebrush.com has links for Patreon support. Want to help the channel? I'm independent these days, so it's pretty much my source of income. So you want to help keep the lights on, Patreon support is where it's at. And I have varying tiers to support at, so many levels, and of course there's perks to supporting as well, and so check it out. And huge thank you to everybody who currently supports and everybody who is thinking of supporting. Huge thank you. And if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, all that stuff on these, either Twitch or YouTube, whatever. Oh, ringing the bell. Ringing the bell is another big one. Sharing the video is another big one. When people post comments and you're on other forums and you say, oh, I follow this guy and, I need help with this. Well, sharing the video. Maybe I've made a tutorial already on a subject that was recently asked. Sharing the video, those help as well, because it helps spread the word and, spread interest and spread the information. And that's, what we're trying to do, right? We're all trying to help each other become better painters and enjoy the hobby. And either we're gaming, reading, or painting, whatever it is, we're all trying to enjoy this hobby. And so why not share the information, the love? Share the love. Spread the love around. Not like that kind of love, but that kind of love. I went there. Spread the love around. Just spread it right on their back. Big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his channel. Beer and Blood Bowl. If you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always say thank you to Carl for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingle that plays before the email segments of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, much love to my baby bro, Evan, for creating the intro and outro music that plays before and the end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro. Alrighty, we're done. We're done. Yeah, so don't forget to spread the love. No, we're not changing the title of the show to that too. Spreading the love on the back. On their back. Oh, we're getting disgusting. Anyway, okay. I'm done. I'm getting the hell out of here. You guys continue working on what you're doing. Go hug a loved one. Help somebody with their hobby. Maybe help an old lady cross the street. Either way, be a force for positivity in this world, as there's so much bullshit out there. Be a force for positive. Just do it. I'm telling you right now. Otherwise, so help me. So help me. I'll spread the love. Take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week. Will I see you guys? Yeah, I think I'll see you guys next week. Well, Adepticon's coming up pretty soon, so I won't be doing a show on this Saturday because I'll be at Adepticon. So that's coming. What's that? Like 2 more weeks? 2 more weeks to Adepticon. But I'll see a bunch of you monkeys at Adepticon. Ooh, and I didn't even talk. Oh man, one of the monkeys helped me out a huge deal. I'll be making a post about this soon enough. One of the monkeys helped me out a great deal, and so I'm gonna again spreading the love. This monkey helped me do something, and they totally blew me away with this. But I'll be making a post about this. I should make a video. I'll make a video about it. But yeah, I'll be bringing in some stuff for the monkeys. Everybody participating at the Bring in Battle at Adepticon. I'm bringing stuff. And you know what? It'll probably be part of Project Mayhem as well. Because remember, we haven't done anything for Project Mayhem in a while. Some of you are wondering, what's Project Mayhem? Well, you got to be one of the monkeys to know what's going on with Project Mayhem. And if you know what Project Mayhem is referring to, then you know what Project Mayhem is about. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here. Go do something. I'm talking about positive change, and then I'm talking about Project Mayhem. But Project Mayhem is positive. It's providing a laugh. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's mayhem. It's all mayhem. It's chaos. It's disorder. But the thing about chaos is it's fair. Just remember that. Jabba's left nuts comment. Spread two thin coats on the back. just spread two thin coats on the back. If you're gonna spread the love on someone's back, do it in two thin coats. Alright, I gotta get the hell out of here. You guys are too much. Yeah, we've derailed. Terracotta, we derailed. Holy shit, we derailed. Right at the end. The train was running pretty good today, but we derailed right at the end. And so she's off the tracks. We're hitting dirt. It's like that scene in The Fugitive. Remember Harrison Ford, The Fugitive? Right? The train's coming at him, and he's like trying to run. He's got the chains on him. He's jumping off. It's like that. The train's off the tracks, and yeah. Jabba's up that. Why does it look like Bob is thinking about sticking the brush into Kris? Like Kris likes the idea. I do. Bob Ross, if you know, God bless that man's soul. I don't know. Maybe he sold poison metal to children. I don't know, but he could have been a complete bastard. Who knows in real life? But if he wanted to stick that paintbrush anywhere, he totally could. I'd let him. I'd let that man. That man could penetrate me with his brush any day. Penetrate. That's what I said. Yes. And then spread two thin coats on my back. I gotta get the hell out of here. All right, people, go enjoy the rest of your day. This is awful, spreading two thin coats.